Okay, good morning everyone and welcome to this week's Q&A. I am going to go ahead and give it a few more minutes to let everyone else join in. But if you can, go ahead and just ask any question that you have there in the chat box. Today is going to be we're going to redo our overview of the entire program. So I'm going to walk you through all the different tabs and all the different features of call text because we have added quite a few of different features inside of call text itself. So I am going to go ahead and walk you guys through what we've added, everything that's new, and kind of a refresher of everything that's already inside the program. And then after I do that little walkthrough, we'll go ahead and open it up to any questions that we might have, okay? But again, I'm going to give it a few more minutes to let everyone else join in. And in the meantime, go ahead and just type in your questions that you have so that I'll have them ready once the question and answer part of the call is here, okay? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with today. Let's see if there's any. Nope, no questions asked. Okay, perfect. So again, it's going to be a quick run through and overview of the program itself. I just want to let you guys know about all the new features that we've added over the past couple of months, everything that's coming and what you can expect, and a brief overview of all the existing features that we have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. And if you guys can, go ahead and just type in the chat box letting me know that you can see my screen and that you can hear me clearly. Okay, awesome. Perfect. Okay, so for those of you that have the program, you should be fairly familiar with this page. It's the dashboard. Okay, so here's where you can kind of see a glance at your past communications and your upcoming task for the week. That's how they have the dashboard currently set up. Now, there is a new version of the dashboard that will be rolling out pretty soon, which will give you a lot more control over what you can see and things like that. So that should be coming out pretty soon. But again, this is the dashboard. Again, you can see, a summary of all the different communications you've done, calls, SMS, things like that. Okay, so that one's pretty self-explanatory. The next one is going to be the Agents tab. This is also a older feature, but we have added some stuff to. Okay, again, thank you for the question. So the questions after I'm done with the walkthrough, we'll go ahead and we'll go into the questions. I promise not to make this part of it too long. We just want to make sure that we have this so that everyone, can come and watch this training and kind of get a feel for the program itself. But anyway, so here's the agents part of it. Agents are what we call sub accounts inside of your main account. Okay, so if you don't want someone logging into your main account, you can create a sub account, and we call that an agent. Okay, so on here is where you can control what their virtual email is going to be, what their email address to log in is. You can actually upload their own avatar on there, and then here's where you can actually give them access to numbers that they use and also limit their communications to just the ones that are connected to them. Okay, so this is actually brand new, and this is actually a new feature as well. So you can actually set their default caller ID, and you can come and limit their communications to just them. Okay. Moving on, we're going to go ahead and go into the communications page. The communications page is going to be the biggest thing that we're working on here in these coming up weeks. They're working on trying to make it a little bit easier to navigate through and a lot more cleaner. I do know for a fact that this actions bar right here is going to get cleaned up. They're going to add a new way of actually navigating your way through this section right here. But some of the things that we've added are going to be right here. Before, the date used to be taken up right here on the left hand side, but they ended up just breaking it down like this, so you can go down and see by day all your different communications. The other thing that they did is this is a new feature that we added. when you click on a contact that you sent or received a message from, it'll give you a pop-up. You can actually tag that contact straight from this pop-up or archive that contact straight from there. So that's a new feature that they added. Another thing that you can do is you can actually tell the page to show you all inbound or outbound. Okay, so if you just want to see all your inbound messages or inbound calls, things like that, all you have to do is click inbound. The page will refresh and it'll show you all the inbound communications. Okay. The other thing that they added was searching, quick search right here. You can now, you do have to search for like the full phone, or sorry, before you used to have to search for the full phone number. Now it populates results based on just the numbers that you give it. Okay. So that's what's brand new with the communication page. You still have the options to go and break it down by just, text messages, MMSs, emails, calls, things like that. Okay. Some other things that we also added were the reply button and the forward button. The reply button is actually an older feature, but with email, we actually added the option to where when you hit reply, it'll automatically populate the subject line for you guys. So that's a brand new feature for the communication. Okay. Moving on, contacts. Really, the only new thing that we added with contacts is going to be the avatar section. Okay, so you can upload a new avatar if you'd like. Now, inside of a contact record is where we added a lot more things. Okay, we kind of cleaned up this top bar right here. So the default tabs are going to have icons instead of the words themselves. And then the add custom fields page is actually brand new. We're kind of we brought it up to date with the rest of our UI, so it's going to look a lot better. Okay. So that's that. You also have the option to, if you wanted to, drag and drop. I know, here, let me change this so that you guys can kind of see what I mean. We'll just do this. You have the option to drag and drop those different items and move them around, okay? So that's the contacts page. Moving on to the compose message page. This is a feature that a lot of people have been asking for, even back when we first launched the program, and that's going to be RVM. Okay, so before we had voice blast, and what these are, guys, is you're able to send pre-recorded messages to people. The thing with voice blast is it will ring to their phone, so they have the ability to answer that call, and once they answer it, they'll hear a pre-recorded message. RVM is the new feature that we added, and it completely skips the call. They'll see a missed call on their phone, and they'll have a voicemail. So that's what RVM stands for, is actually ring this voicemail. So that's now part of everyone's account. Before it wasn't beta, and we were giving it access to people that asked for it, but now it's actually open to the public. So if you have a call text account, no matter which one you have the RVM feature. Okay. Now moving on, we're going to calendar. Calendar, we have added quite a few different things, but since the last training, there hasn't really been much added on there. You still have the option to create your own calendars, add calendars on there. And set up global alerts and services and things like that. Okay, you still have the option to view them by the month, week, day, and upcoming tasks. Okay, so that the calendar's pretty much the same since the last time we went over it. Campaigns, again, pretty much the same. The only thing I will mention is we did update the look, again, the UI. We're going through and updating the entire look of our program, trying to make it a lot more cleaner and easier to use. The cool thing with campaigns now is you have the option to select your virtual email, and then you also have the option to, just like when I showed you guys the custom field, you have the option to go in and actually move these items around. Okay, so that's pretty much it with campaigns. Moving on, the next thing is virtual numbers. Same thing. Since the last training, the virtual numbers hasn't updated, so those are still the same way. Tags are the same way. Templates. The only thing new with templates now, guys, is the support of RVM. So you can come in and start building out your own RVM messages. Okay. Keywords are the same. File library is the same. And let's see here, moving on. But just to kind of go over each one of them, templates is where you build out the templates that are going to be used in your campaigns, or when you go to compose message and you want to use a pre-built template, you can do that. Keywords, you guys, is for those of you that want to implement text message marketing. That's when people use text the word offer to 818181 and they get an automatic reply. That is what keywords is inside of call text. There is a difference between long code and short code keyword. Long code means that you're going to create a keyword specific to your virtual numbers. So if anyone texts that specific keyword to any one of your virtual numbers, they'll get an automated response. Short code keyword is different. You're going to be utilizing the 818181 number that we have specific to call text. Okay. And all of the plans except for the starter plan do come with at least one keyword. The pro plan comes with two short code keywords. So if you're wanting to use a keyword, I definitely recommend picking up one of those plans, okay? File library is where you can come in and just store any files that you want to keep inside of your account. Um, reports is where you can come to see, who opted out. And then you can also see inside of compose message, we have the ability to send messages later. So you'll be able to come in and view when messages are going to be sent out. And if you have any that are going to be sent out at a later date. Chat. Chat is a way for you guys to actually chat with us, the support team. And it's also the same way that when you build or when you create an external chat and put it on your website, if someone were to chat with you on your website, chat is where you come in. Let's see, I'll walk through complete process. Okay, let me see. Okay, so okay, I get you. Okay, perfect. So again, so external chat, for those of you that have seen live chat on your website or on other websites, the way that we use this is when someone goes on your website and starts to chat with you, you would just come over to chat and you'll be able to chat with anyone that's messaged you, okay? So again, that's external chat. You can come in and build an external chat. You just have to take the code and put it onto your website. The next one is going to be conference. Conference is something that is brand new. We are still in beta for conference. Everyone does, I believe, have access to it. Um, but it still is in beta. And basically what it is, it's similar to what we're doing right now, how you guys logged into any meeting. But right now we only support voice. Okay, so you can hold a conference room and have people join in on your conference room while you talk to them. They are working on adding screen share and video support for that. So soon everything will just all be used inside of call text. We won't ourselves have to use outside programs. Okay. And then the last one is going to be form builder. This right here, guys, I have a development account. I go in and help with other stuff, so you can ignore that one. But the form builder one, actually, I'll just let you guys know. So what this is they're actually working on integrating direct mail into call text. Okay, so that's another huge feature that we're going to be adding. That's something that a lot of people have asked for. So you're soon going to be able to come into your accounts and just send direct mail straight from the account and create campaigns and things like that. Okay, so that is a feature to keep an eye out on. And then the last one is going to be forms. Again, that's the same since the last time we went over them. Forms basically is a way for you to either create a form and put on your website for people to fill out, or you can use them internally as well so that you can fill out your own forms, okay? One thing actually that I did forget to mention is inside of contacts, they did add a new feature. Okay, what this feature is it actually can look up a contact's information. Okay, Rob, perfect. I'll get to that question really quickly. Anyways, so a new feature that we have is look up phone numbers. So based on someone's address, you'll be able to actually look up a phone number or look up an email. It's kind of like a skip tracing service inside of call text. Now the cost of it, I believe if you're wanting to actually use that feature, none of the plans actually come with any lookups, but I believe the pricing on the lookups is going to be 8 cents a lookup. Okay. If you have questions about that, you can ask about the lookups. That is a brand new feature though, so you have the option to do that now. Okay. So anyways, so that was the overview, everything that's coming up, everything that you guys should be looking out for. Again, the new features that are on their way are going to be probably the biggest one is going to be the direct mail integration. They are working on adding. I'll answer your question right now, Rob. Another feature that they are working on adding is saved import, and then another one is going to be saved searches. Okay, so those are some three big features that are coming out. Probably another one that I'm most excited about is going to be the reports page. Okay, so it'll be like an even larger scale version of our dashboard. So you'll be able to go in and kind of see, okay, how many calls did I get on this certain day for this specific number, uh, or within a different time range. That reports page is coming pretty soon. We've been working really hard on that, putting together the best way to have it set up inside of the program for you guys, so that you guys can have more control over everything inside of your account. Okay. So let's see here. So Rob, I believe I answered your question. And the contacts, is there a way to save the import mapping? So in important contacts, you don't have to. Yeah, so they're going to be adding that one. So let's go back to how can we set up auto reply text to callers who reply to our direct mail. Okay, perfect. So to that question, there's two different ways to do it. The one I suggest is going to be keywords. If you don't want to do that, then we can set up an automated text message, for any time they text you. The way that you do that, receive the reply, receive loaded contact, text reply. For example. Okay. Example typical. Okay, so how I won't be able to go over all of the different campaigns that Michael has, only because it's so much and we are limited to just the hour. But I can walk you through how to set up an automated call and I'm sorry, automated text response and other things like that, because I believe you asked for some other stuff inside of that question, the second question that you asked. But anyway, so what I'll do right now is I'll walk you through the automated text. Okay, this is going to be very similar to if you visit the tutorials page on our website, and you go down to, I believe, the fourth training, or actually no, it's which one is it? Okay, if you go down to the sixth video tutorial, it's showing how to set up an automated workflow. But that one, the example on that one is when someone calls. The layout of it is going to be very similar in that training. So what I'll do is just re-go over how to do that, but with a text message. So anyways, it's important to know that when you're creating a campaign and creating an automated workflow, there's three things that you're going to need. Number one is going to be the tag. Number two is going to be the template, and then number three is going to be the campaign itself. Okay, so the way that we do this is we need to create a tag that is going to track the people that texted in, and that's also going to start the campaign. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a tag, and we're going to call this one training video auto text, and then you can name it whatever you want. It does not have to be this. If you wanted to name it new seller lead text, and you can do that if you wanted to, but I'm going to leave it as that. The description, usually I like to paste that in, or just paste the name in there, and I'm going to go ahead and hit submit. Okay, so I created the tag, right? That's going to be that training video audio or auto text in. Okay, so that's what that is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to templates, okay, and I'm going to add an SMS template. Okay, because what we need to do is we need to be able to create the message that the system is going to send out to them. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit paste. I'm going to do this training video auto text in SMS template. Again, you can name it whatever you want. Usually I like to keep everything, named the same if it's part of the same process. And then again, oh, actually right here, message text. Here's where we can put whatever message you want it to say. So thank you for, messaging us. We will reach out to you shortly with your offer. If you want to speed up the process, you can do so by giving us a call back. Okay, something like that. It doesn't have to be exactly what I put, but you can put something like that. And then you can just choose any one of the numbers that you have inside of your virtual number. What I do recommend is the way that I've set it up in other investors' accounts, and I did in Michael's account, is we make sure that all the messages are coming from one specific phone number. Okay, so I always suggest that you have one phone number that sends out all of your campaign messages. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit submit. Now I have that message right there. And lastly, we're going to come over to campaign, and I'm going to hit add, and we're going to go ahead and create that training video auto text in. And I'm going to name this campaign. Okay. We're going to go ahead and give that the same description. So I'm going to choose the from number, choose the email. We're not sending emails in this campaign, so it doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to go ahead and select that. And right here's the important part. You're going to click on this right here where it says tags. Normally people click this plus button. I know it's a little misleading, but you just have to click over here to tags, and it'll give you a drop down of your existing list of tags. So I'm going to come down and let's see. Oh, where'd you go? Sorry about that, guys. I clicked on that prior to creating the tag. I had to hit refresh because I created the tag after I started this process. Okay, so auto text and campaign. Here we go. Select the email. Okay, perfect. So we have all of this set up. We have the tag that's going to start it. Okay, this is the tag. Once this tag is applied to a contact, they're going to be put into this campaign. Okay, and so now what we have to do is we just have to add the items that we want to send out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and choose here we go, training video auto text in, and I'm going to delay it. I'm going to say 5 minutes. Okay, and just set it as a default calendar. The calendar doesn't matter at this point because it's not an actual event on calendar. It's just a text message being sent out. I'm gonna hit close. Now the reason I'm doing 5 minutes is because if we were to set it to go out as soon as possible, you can run into the issue of, if they call in and you actually answer the call, then you're gonna send them a message, prior to you actually being able to stop that message from going out. So I do give it a few minutes. 5 minutes is usually good. So anyways, so what we did is we created the tag that starts the campaign. Okay, we created the template that's going to be sent to the person, and then we created the campaign. Okay, so now I'm going to hit save. That campaign was saved, and the last step is going to be going to virtual numbers, going to the number we want it to, that they're going to be texting into. Okay, and then we're going to go over here to tagging. All right. And right here where it says message tagging, that's where we're going to choose that training tag. Okay. So now what we just did is we told the program anytime someone texts into this virtual number, go ahead and apply that tag. When that tag is applied, go ahead and send them that message after 5 minutes. Okay. So that is how you do it when you want to send them a message, regardless of the message that they send you. So if they were to say, hey, or if they were to say, can I get more info or whatever they say, as long as they text into this number, then the system will send them that automated text message. Okay. So that's how you do that. Now, when I first started showing you guys this, I did say that the way I would do it is to actually use keywords. Okay. Um, Now you will have to change your message on the, whatever marketing piece you're using, because you will need to let them know to send a specific word to your phone number. But what we can do is we can actually add a keyword. Okay. If you're going to be using your own virtual numbers, an internal keyword or long code keyword is another word that we use. You can have as many of those as you want. Okay, there's no additional charge if you're going to be using an internal or long code keyword. If you want to take advantage of using the short code keyword, the A1 number, then you would choose short code. But keep in mind, for the starter plan does not come with any short code keywords, so it will be an additional 25 a month. If you're on the text or phone plan, it does come with one. So if you get one, you won't be charged any extra monthly charges. But if you go over the one short code, then it'll be that same 25 a month for each keyword. And then if you're on the pro plan, that one comes with two keywords. So after you use up the two, then any additional ones will be charged at 25 a month. Okay. But if you're fine with just using your own internal one, all the plans come with unlimited internal keywords, because it just uses your existing text message allowance. Okay, your balance. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna create an internal keyword. We'll name this one. We'll go fast cash. So if you're sending out mail as an example, you would tell them if you want to get a free cash offer, just text the word fast cash to whatever virtual number that you have, and then you can just put whatever message you want to put, message here. Okay. um, and then again, we can tag them if we'd like. I usually do want to, only because I want to track anytime someone texts into that keyword, but you don't have to, only because if they text in this word, the system will automatically send them this message right away. And again, that's going to be another huge difference. If you use keywords, the message gets sent out right away. If you use a campaign, you have control over when you want to actually send out that message. Okay. But that's how you set up the keyword. Okay, so if you're wanting a quick, simple way of doing what you were asking about, then keyword is going to be the best one. If you want a little more control, and give your leads a little bit more options, because sometimes people may misspell it. So if you just want it to be whenever they send any type of word, then use campaigns. Now you still can use, like on your marketing piece, if you want to say text the word offer to your virtual number, you can still say that and have that as part of the campaign and not actually create that keyword. And it'll work simply because of the fact that you set it up to, if they text anything to that phone number, they'll get that instant message. Okay. So hopefully that helped you guys with that. Let me see if there's any other questions. Actually, how you asked the question. Okay. Let's see here. So we did the auto text, send back voicemail, show how communication is documented in CRM. Okay, so it looks like you want to send a voicemail. If you just want to call them, it's very simple. You can open up the dialer, and then you can search for them if you'd like. So I can search for myself, or you could come over to contacts and call them from the contacts page, or you can come to communication, and if they called into you, so for example, or actually I called this phone number, I could just hit reply, and it'll open up the dialer for me to call them. Okay, so that's how you can leave a voicemail or make a call and leave a voicemail. You reach their voicemail. If you wanted to send them a ringless voicemail, what you would do is come to compose message. Okay, and then once compose message loads up, you'd come over to RVM, and you would choose which number you want it to be from. Okay, So I'll just choose this one, and you would select who you want to send it to. So let's go ahead and send it to myself. Let's see here, voicemail to leave. So right here you have 3 options. You can either upload a pre-recorded message from your computer, you can upload it from the file library, or if you clicked on the microphone, you can record it straight from this page, okay? So what I would do is I just select from library because I know I have quite a few pre-recorded test messages in there, so we'll just do first RVM test. And then I have the option to send now, send later, or send recurring. If you didn't want to send it right away, you can hit send later and then choose the date and time, okay? Okay, let me see what else. Okay, so how are all communications documented? Again, to view any communications, you just need to come over to the communication page, and you can search for a contact record if you'd like. So I can see all the or all the communications with my specific contact myself, or I could come over to contacts and then go to my contact record, and inside of my contact record, there's going to be a communication tab. Okay. So this will show me just the calls, texts, emails I've had with this specific contact. All right. See here. Okay. So what system is used for email call? I don't know the exact system that they're using, but to give you guys the numbers and the percentages of how successful those lookups are. I believe that I want to say it's 60 to 70% of the time you look up a person, it will give you back a phone number, and only 30% of the time it'll give you an email. Okay. Oh, no problem. If you guys have any more questions, just make sure to type them into the chat box, and I'll make sure to go over anything you guys need help with. Okay. You too, Hal. Okay, guys, I'm going to give it a few more minutes, and if we have no more questions, we'll go ahead and end today's call. Okay, so the question is, if a contact has a company number and it has an extension. The program is pretty smart. What it does is it listens for the voicemail beep, and if it never reaches that point, then it just doesn't leave a message. So now that does lead me into saying that there is going to be times when an RVM cannot be left. Obviously, the biggest ones are going to be when the voicemail is full or a voicemail is not set up. In those cases, no message is left. And then another case would be that same thing. If there's an extension, it won't go through that. Okay, everyone, so it doesn't look like there's any more questions. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and end the call. If you do have questions after this, you can always reach out to us by emailing us or calling us or chatting with us. And then we always have our weekly trainings every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So if you need us to give you or if you want to join on so that you can kind of see a live walkthrough again, then make sure that you're on those calls, okay? The link that you get in the email for that before every call, the link that you get is going to be the same for every week. So the one that you use to get on this call will still work for next week as well. Just keep that in mind. But again, I thank you guys for joining. If you have any more questions, just make sure to reach out to us by either calling, texting, chatting, or filling out a form with us. Okay. Talk to you guys soon.